Andrew Berry at his media gathering today talked about how soon a draft pick can realistically be expected to contribute.
For instance, O-line and D-line, they're typically longer developing positions. Running back, that's a position that typically plays, more quickly, but that can be variable depending on, hey, was this player a small school prospect that didn't have a ton of resources? Is he relatively new to the position? Is he relatively new to the sport? So that all can play a factor. I think what I would say is pretty consistent is that just like the transition from college to the NFL for rookies in general, regardless of where you're taking, it's hard. I wish I had the statistic off the top of my head, but I think it was something like maybe 32% of rookies play an average of 17 snaps a game, and that's before you even get to the quality of snaps that they're playing. So it's very rare that a young player comes right out of the chute and produces like a starter. Which is why we prefer to be in a roster state where if we bring a young player aboard, they can develop into a role and then ultimately develop into a starter as opposed to being pressed into that from day one.
Quincy, the other thing is playoff teams tend to play less rookies than teams that are 2-14, for instance. When you look at though, what are the Browns' actual draft needs as they go into this?
I really got them. Like if we're talking about like true needs, right? Like you need somebody to step in and fill a role or to play right away. I just don't see that the Browns have any area where they have. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. This is not only a very talented team, a very deep team, but a veteran team. And you're not going to really find a lot of rooms on those kind of teams for somebody to start right away. And that's just not where the Cleveland Browns are. They have some positions where they project to need a starter in a couple of years, like the offensive line. But for right now, there's nobody that they need right now. Even if like Keon Coleman fell to them at 54 and they really love him, it's not like he's in a situation where he's going to get a ton of reps in year one, right? Because he's still going to be behind Cedric Tillman. He's still going to be behind Elijah Moore. He's still going to be behind Amari Cooper. He's still going to be behind Jerry Jeudy. And then if we're talking in order of targets, almost everybody but Amari Cooper is going to be behind David Njoku.